everybody. We're back for another episode of Deep in the Count. A little chilly morning, so we're bundled up. The weather's starting to change out there. But, wanted to thank, Michael Boccarossa, sophomore captain, second baseman, and Anthony Amoroso, fifth-year senior captain, right-handed pitcher, to be back. Today's episode, we get to kind of flip it around. So I'm going to ask them some questions, and so you can kind of get a sense of how they feel like things are going within the New Paltz baseball program, the direction that we're going, and how they feel we're doing. But we're going to kind of get right into it because I think it's going to be really, really great to kind of get a player's perspective. I think as coaches, we can kind of have an idea of what we think or how we think things are going. But until you get the player's perspective, sometimes it's a little bit different. So here in the program, we, it's my philosophy to kind of really get some quality insight, from the players, not only from, what we're doing and how day-to-day stuff's going, but practice plans, what we need to work on, what the players feel like are our emphasis for the day or the week, and kind of give them some ownership of the program and what we're doing. So, we're going to kind of get right into it. So the first question is going to be for the both of you. All right. We've been kind of going through a little bit of an ordeal with the coronavirus and its implications on the season. But, how do you feel like that this, experience has kind of shaped or how has your perspective changed about, being a college athlete? Anthony?
Yeah, sorry, I just got booted off.
That's all right. So how do you feel like the coronavirus experience has, kind of shaped your thought process or your perspective about being a college athlete? We'll come back to him. Boca?
Yeah, I mean, I think this experience is like done one specific thing for me, like, and like the way I, perceive things and being a college athlete, that, at any moment, like last year, our season just got kind of ripped away from us. 4 games were played, and then that was it. And for our seniors last year, seeing them, not be able to finish out their career here at New Paltz, like it really made me think a lot about like how I go about my day-to-day, life, and how much effort I put into being a college athlete, because one day I might not have, baseball again, and I want to make sure that I don't have any regrets, after I'm done, that I could have done more. So I think, I'm going to continue to play every day like it's my last, because some people didn't get their last day, and that's hard to think about sometimes.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Amber, same question to you. I mean, how do you feel like this experience dealing with the coronavirus and everything has kind of shaped your thought process or your perspective about being a college athlete?
The big thing for me is just because I was a senior last year, and I wouldn't have had an extra year of eligibility if the NCAA didn't grant it back to us. So the big thing for me coming back and getting that extra year is just never really take it for granted. I know what it's like to have the game taken away from me for those 36 hours that I did have it taken away.
Yeah.
And, like I came in with those, there were 7 seniors last year, including myself. So those are 6 of my best friends. Luckily, one of them got to come back, but the other 5 guys that don't get to come back, to have those conversations and those hugs. And, we were really confident last year, and not having them part of it, makes me just work that much harder, because I know how upset they were because they couldn't get to finish it off. So kind of having that, experience happen to me. Yeah. Really, days where I'm tired and don't want to do stuff, I force myself to get up and just go, because there were a couple of times where I look back on it in those 36 hours where I was like, I really wish I would have did that. But luckily I was given a second chance. So.
Yeah. How both of you, I mean, how do you feel like, because now you do have that perspective, how do you feel like some of these lessons are going to, kind of help you out once baseball is over and you enter, corporate America?
Go ahead, Mike, you can go.
I just, I think sports in general, for me personally, have just kind of helped me become the person I am. So all the, life lessons that I've learned because of this experience, I'll probably take with me, throughout the rest of my life. And, not only in baseball, but, in my schoolwork and, when I get a job and, with my family, like I'm going to put in all the effort that I can, so I make sure that everyone that needs to be taken care of can be taken care of. And, everyone is, I guess you can say, happy with, the life that we live, because I think that being in this experience is, it's kind of like life changing a little bit, and it puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah. Ammo?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is for corporate America, you could get fired any day. You could lose your job any day. And, especially with baseball, Mike was talking about sports, but baseball is a sport that teaches you failure, which I really think is one of the hardest things that, it's one of the hardest things that you can deal with. And playing baseball your whole life, really, you're looked at as one of the best ever to do it if you fail 70% of the time. So if you really think about it, it's kind of a sick-minded game, and we choose to play it.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, I think, like this sport, along with wrestling as well, those are main sports where, failure, and if you want something, you have to go and get it yourself. So I think that, with this whole experience and playing baseball as a whole really shapes you into a man, to deal with adversity in your life, because you're going to have a lot of it in your life. If you expect everything to be perfect, unfortunately, you're sadly mistaken. So to have something just thrown at you like this kind of gets you ready for the real world.
So true. So true. And I think y'all hit on the nail on the head of, trying to fulfill every day and live in the moment. I think that's a huge lesson to take from this experience. So, all right, Boca, Ammo, here's a question for you. As a fifth year senior, you've kind of been here a while, so you've kind of seen how the program has morphed and changed, in your time here. How do you feel like, the program has advanced, in that time frame?
Yeah, so I've been here since fall of 2016, which is kind of crazy to think about. And, we've had different coaches throughout the time, but I would say the biggest change that I've noticed is our recruiting. We have guys that come in, the freshmen and the underclassmen, and they're ready to play on day one. That they have the talent, and then they just have the work ethic to be ready to play right away. And in a weird way, it's good for the older guys because, yeah, we all love each other and everything, but at the end of the day, everyone wants to play. So it's like one big competition all the time. People don't look at us as a club team anymore. We're a serious program. We take it serious. And then the other thing I would say is the commitment to, you always say a relentless commitment to excellence is one of the big things that you preach to us. So what I've noticed is the emphasis on the little things and the extra work. Older guys are grabbing younger guys and saying, hey, you got to do this stuff. Hey, just practicing with the team isn't enough. Come with me. Let's do this. The leadership from the older guys to the younger guys, making them do those little things because of the experience we have, is a big thing that you've preached, and something that I didn't have when I was a freshman. The seniors were great when I was a freshman, but no one really grabbed me and said, hey, come on, let's go do this. And if I would have stayed in that path before you came around, I probably would have been the same way, where it was, me and my senior friends will do this. But you have to realize at the end of the day, a freshman may come up in a big game and need to be prepared. So that's my job as an older guy to grab them. So I think that's something that has really changed throughout the program.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean that's a great point. I mean, I think for all the listeners out there, you know, and potential future players, you know, about the program is we do preach, you know, the process and the preparation. You know, I know that one thing that we've always talked about here in the program is, you know, we're not always going to live up to our expectations, you know, because, yeah, every year we want to win a national championship. And if you're not setting your sights on that, then you're doing it wrong, right? But, you know, only one team gets to do that, you know, but you always fall to your level of preparation. And I think that that's something over the last, you know, 2 years that I think, you know, as a coach, you know, that's been one thing that we've seen a big change on with the older guys, younger guys, commitment, and buying into the process of being a championship caliber program. So, so, you know, that's great. That's tremendous insight. So, all right, Boca, as a new captain, you know, because you just got anointed, you know, our number 2 captain, you know, as a sophomore, which is a huge accomplishment. You know, you've been pretty fortunate. I mean, your freshman year here, you played every day. You know, last year, you know, we had our 4 games, but you played every day. So you've been able to play, you know, just about every inning of your college baseball career. And not many people can say that. You know, what do you think have been some of the challenges that you've had to overcome, you know, on that path of, you know, success up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to say thank you to, you know, the coaching staff and the teammates for, you know, giving me this opportunity to be a captain on this team. But I think one of the biggest challenge that I had to face was learning to, like, control the controllables. And so as a freshman, you know, I did play every day, but countless times I was worrying about too much. And I think throughout my freshman year, I matured in the game, and I started focusing on myself more and being able to get really, really good at, like, hitting off the tee consistently, and then have that translate into the game, and turning double plays consistently and have that transfer into the game. So I think taking practice more serious and controlling the controllables, something that, you know, you always talk about, is what has helped me get to where I'm at today. And I think continuing to do that will allow me to continue my success.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, you know, seeing you play as a freshman, you know, people always ask me, I mean, what are the things that are going to allow freshmen to be immediate impacts? And I always say, you know, 1, physicality, you know, that's a big thing. But 2 is, are you able to slow the game down? You know, because every freshman comes in with kind of like that deer in the headlight look, and how quickly you can kind of get past that, you know, and you can kind of slow the game down to where you can let your skill set and your confidence level, and you can play fast and energetic, is what you're going to be able to accomplish as a freshman. But, you know, I'm sure you would say, I mean, sometimes your freshman year, you didn't know what was up and you didn't know what was down sometimes, you know, and I think everybody as a freshman or a young player can say that. But, you know, like Amo alluded to earlier, I mean, this game is built on epic failure, you know, and how you handle that, you know, is going to be what type of impact that you can have within a program, you know, as a first year player. So, so that's good. I mean, there's always challenges that are going to be able to overcome. So, all right, final question for both of you. Okay. This is always a good one and kind of put you on the hot seat. So I'm interested kind of see what y'all have to say. But if you came across somebody who didn't have any, understanding or knowledge about, New Paltz baseball, kind of how would you describe our program to them and what we're doing here?
That's a good question. I would definitely say that, our program is a program where, people like to count us out, and it's something that everyone that is within our program loves. We embrace that underdog mentality because at the end of the day, people are counting us out. So it's that much better when we prove them wrong. It's a program that works hard day in and day out. It's a program where guys buy in and, we do what we have to do. We don't care who we're playing. At the end of the day, we look at it as you put your pants and cleats on the same way we do. Now you better play in between those lines and prove that you're better than us, because if you don't, we're going to come out and smack you in the mouth. And that's something that I love about the underdog mentality within the entire team.
Good. Boca?
I mean, ever since I got here, as a freshman, Ammo was a junior, we immediately, family mentality as well. We treat, every guy on the team just like they're our brothers. And I think, that's something that, you don't get in every program. There might be guys that think they're too good for, the freshmen. And I think here we're all the same. And along with that, like that brotherhood, we all push each other to the limit, to get our results that we want. I think Ammo mentioned it earlier, the relentless commitment to excellence that, you preach about all the time. I think as players, we really buy into that, and, we push each other so we can be successful.
Well, good. I mean, those are two great things. I mean, I think, that underdog mentality, I think, last year, was one of the frustrating, I've told people this in the past, is like when I, talk to people about the direction of the program, over the last couple of months, especially from a recruiting standpoint, is that the biggest, disheartening thing about, what happened last season with, just playing 4 games was, I think that the coaching staff really challenged that group to, to be more committed, to take it more serious, to be more detailed oriented, to hold each other more accountable, to forge closer and more meaningful bonds that, the fact that group didn't get a chance to get recognized for their commitment level and their sacrifice last year was the thing that was most disconcerting. And because, I'm not saying we would have, won a conference championship last year. I mean, I don't know. We're playing great defense, so that's a good indicator that we would have been competitive. But, I think we would have definitely, caught the SUNY by surprise with, the things that we're doing here. But yeah, to Boca's, point, I think when we're all headed in the right direction, and we're able to be open and honest with one another, you kind of morph from that friendship that, always happens within a team, and you become, a brotherhood, and to where you can have those honest, critical conversations. But, gentlemen, it's been outstanding to kind of chat with y'all again today. Again, I think you've given, our supporters and people who are going to watch this, some tremendous information about where we're at as a program, where we're going, and something to be really, really excited about, not only for the 21 season, but the seasons to come. So thank you. I really appreciate your time. Again, this is Deep in the Count, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.